Hi, it's Fry, and I'm here to talk a little bit more about The Last Jedi and the next one and the last one and all the Star Wars things, I guess. Not all of them, just a couple of thoughts I'm having today. I thought I saw somewhere that people were mentioning Snoke would return, and that would not surprise me at all because I never thought for a minute Snoke was actually dead and truly gone. I just felt that Kylo Ren cut him in half and he'll return in episode 9 either as a ghost or somehow re put himself back, regenerated, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Regenerated, put himself back together, or maybe he wasn't sliced in half at all. Maybe that was just a big hologram because he seems to be king of the magic tricks. So who knows? So I do think that Snoke will be returning for sure in episode 9. I thought that when I saw it in the theater the second he got cut in half. I knew he was coming back. And it would make sense to me that Luke and Snoke would have a standoff, and that's what I thought was going to happen in The Last Jedi, was that Luke would battle Snoke because Snoke is the one in control of Kylo Ren. It makes no sense for Luke to fight Kylo Ren. It never made sense for him to fight him at all. There's no tension or conflict in the fight, and even in the last battle there in what we got in The Last Jedi, I already knew like no one was going to win. It was just a non-battle for no reason because Luke already determined he wasn't going to kill Kylo Ren back when he was weaker and a child. So why would he battle him now? It made no sense to me. It wasn't anything at all. That was just a silly battle. So hopefully in chapter 9 we'll discover Luke's not dead, Snoke's not dead, and they'll have some kind of battle. I mean, Snoke could very well be alive. He might have just been a hologram when he got cut in half. It might have been one of his clones. That may not even have been him. He may have projected something there, just like he projected Rey and Kylo, and so anything can happen. It's a friggin' magic show, right? So we can get this movie back on track. I'm positive we can. And speaking of getting things back on track, I have to say, I really would like to point out a YouTuber that's really lifted my spirits the last couple weeks since I've discovered him. His name's Ivan Ortega. I don't know if I said that right, and I'll put the link to him downstairs. But he's been his goal actually, as a super Star Wars fan, he's actually recutting The Last Jedi, and I guess he's a filmmaker and has a lot of talent with the craft because he's already shown so many little video cuts he's already made, and it's just so. It really does my heart well to see these. I'm very happy with what he's doing. Um, Today he posted a bit about Luke not being dead, and to me that was like the best thing in the world because my biggest depression after The Last Jedi was that Luke died. I think this has been an issue with a lot of us because even though a lot of us know Luke has to die at some point, we're expecting him to at least live to chapter 9, if not longer. I mean, after all, Yoda lived like 800 years or whatever, and Luke's only like in his 40s or 50s or however long. We don't know how old he is. They haven't told us. But certainly he's no older than I am at this point. And so, he should be alive. He needs to live a few hundred more years so he can do more adventures around the galaxy and so on. And Mark Hamill himself is actually quite limber and stuff because I saw him in real life a couple years ago when he came to Toronto for Fan Expo and did a bunch of talks. And he's totally down. He's not an old man at all. They just made him look so old and crusty in The Last Jedi, but he's not. He's very engaging and enthusiastic, and he could easily do a lightsaber battle. He probably couldn't do flips. Well, he could on the ropes, I guess. Why not? He did before. So, there's something to look forward to. Anyway, so what Ivan's been doing is he's just been going through the movie very slowly, and he's fixing things. He's fixing things how they should have been. You know, and it's too bad Ryan Johnson didn't fix these things, but of course Ryan Johnson made the things that needed to be fixed. So. But one thing I really appreciate the most about Ivan's work is something that really it struck to me when I left The Last Jedi on fan night, the night before opening night, was how the music was misused. It's like Ryan Johnson or whoever edited Last Jedi doesn't understand the connection the music has to the scenes. If you know, and I've mentioned before, I've talked about it on blogs and on these videos, how The Force Awakens was like an opera. You just hear the music and you know what's happening on screen. And whether you like the movie or not, the music's very connected to the characters, to the plot, to the setting, and you always know what's going on. And that's how A New Hope was too. When I saw A New Hope, the day it came out, and I bought the album and I listened to it constantly, and I could see in my head exactly where we were in the story because of the way the music fit the story, fit the scenes. It was calculated perfectly. The editing was great. So one thing I noticed when watching a couple of Ivan's shorts a couple weeks ago was he too has noticed this about the music. I don't know if he's ever actually come right out and said it, but in a lot of his re-edits, he's correcting the music because it really upset me when I was watching The Last Jedi and I'd hear themes like the Kylo Ren theme, and there's no Kylo to be found. Like why are you playing that? That no one's thinking about him or dealing, and other themes too, or bringing in themes from things that make no sense, and so, and also like that, the petroleum guard scene or whatever you want to call it, which I still think is a pointless scene. It's one of my favorite scenes in The Last Jedi because we actually get to see some kind of battle, which is, Star Wars. There's a war in the title there. We need some action. And since they're doing a slow-mo drive through space, we're not getting any space action. So we got a little bit of a sword fight in the when after Snoke went down, but it made no sense to me why there was even a fight scene there because wouldn't the guards bow down to Kylo Ren as the new supreme leader? And I say this every single video I do, but I can't get over it. I can't get over that the guards would attack him when they should be bowing down to him because who are they following now? Because The Last Jedi made Hux a laughingstock buffoon instead of evil Hitler Youth. So we don't, so they're not bowing down to Hux. So who are they bowing down? Who are they fighting for? Why? Anyways, it makes no sense. Anyway, so Ivan corrected that scene with some of the mistakes, like the knife thing that wasn't there, and he put in music because the music, whatever was happening, they didn't have the music. And it's funny because when I saw it with one of my sons, he said they should have done the song from brain's dead. But anyways, that's the song Ivan picked for one of his takes, so that was funny. But the best thing of all was Ivan has made Luke be alive at the end of the movie. So if you go and watch his YouTubes, you can be happy and cry with joy when you see Luke not dying at the end. And I tell you, that has really lifted my spirits because I know Luke's just a fictional character, but he's been in my life for over 40 years because I'm old and I saw Star Wars for the first time as a teenager the day it came out. And so I've lived with Luke, Luke on my bedroom wall as a teenager, Luke in my heart, seeing Mark Hamill in real life, all that. Just to have him we finally see him after 40 years and they kill him off. So to see him not being dead is really exciting. Really, really exciting. And it'd be nice if in chapter 9 that they do somehow resurrect Luke. I fully expect a Luke versus Snoke standoff. I expect them either not to be dead or to be regenerated or whatever, but I think that's how it should be. But anyways, go check out Ivan's re-edits. His goal is to actually re-edit the entire movie and make it to what the fans wanted it to be. And it's not, it wouldn't have been so hard for Ryan Johnson to give us some stuff. But anyways, Ivan's taken away the horrible titty milk scene and other stuff, so go check out his things. Anyways, thank you, Ivan. You made my heart so happy. And don't forget to subscribe to me so you can hear me rant some more. Bye for now.